Well, it's a blustery, cool afternoon, but you can see the wind has really dried things out. These will be good conditions for seeding. Chilly, but hopefully we'll get it in fast. Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to Rolling Hills Farm. Dave here. As you can see, I've got the cedar out. We're headed over this afternoon. We've got the disking done, the dragging done, and we're headed over to get some oats in the ground. Certified Dion oats out of the University of Minnesota. We get our seed oats from a dealer down in Pine City. We added a few bags last month to go with seed that we had cleaned 2 years ago. Just wanted to make sure we had enough. At the same time, we got the cedar in the shop and worked on that clutch. It was slipping last summer when we used it, and I wanted to make sure it was ready to go this year. With this reconditioned clutch, let's see how it works. I can see it's turning. I can see seeds dropping. Let's go take a look. So you see the seed depth is minimal, just about an inch. And there you can see the seeds falling in there. And then the closer, or the wheels open it, and then this wheel right here packs it back shut. So you see those oats right in there that have fallen. My biggest problem with this cedar are the tractor tracks. You see right here and right here. There's exposed oats. So that's why we'll bring the packer back after we're done here, the field roller, and we'll roll this, and that will take care of all these problems. Going kind of slow to start with. I just want to make sure everything's working smoothly before I get up to really my planting speed. The cedar is driven by those backpacker wheels that turn a shaft that turns small gears inside underneath where the seed bin is. Those little gears drop individual oats down through the tubes you see right there. They fall between the openers and then get closed up by the packer wheels. No sensors on this cedar, so if it were to throw a chain and stop seeding, well, I wouldn't know it if I wasn't looking back at it. Because there's no sensors, you kind of have to estimate how much seed is going through the drill so you don't run out. And the last thing you want to do is have a blank spot where nothing got seeded. So we check frequently. I was just about to run out.
Yeah, this side always goes faster than that side.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know.
Well, that's the last of our new bags of Dion seed, and it'll be just enough to do the north half of the field. And then in the rest of the field, we're going to put Dion seed from 2 years ago that we harvested and cleaned that seed. I'm hoping to save some of the oats we harvest from the north side for future seed for next year's grain and for cover crops to protect open soil in winter. And saving seed and cleaning it is a good way to save money. I want to get rid of all these half full ones. And quickly, it's time to fill up with oats again. Boy, these oats have a lot more color to them. These are the ones we harvested and cleaned a couple years ago.
See where that went?
And they're really nice looking oats.
There it is.
So these oats will be harvested for grain for our cows, but it's also our principal cash crop. We'll sell trailers of oats to the local elevator, and then we'll bale straw into square bales and sell that too. Well, it was a long enough day seeding. We decided to hold off and bring the packer out next morning, and it's cold out, under 35 degrees. So you can see the packer. The field roller is a 12-foot roller mounted on an old International disc frame. You see the three pieces, and the idea is to smooth the soil and push down little rocks. It's just like one more finishing step to the field. And the other thing we'll accomplish is any exposed oats, like these ones right here, will be covered over and just help a little more germination. But ultimately, the biggest reason for packing is just for a smooth field for the next year. So this packer is a pretty solid tool. I can get along. I'm going about 5 miles an hour in the field, and I could probably go faster, but I'm not in a hurry, and I don't want anything to come apart back there. It's really just old axles, kind of crude 2-inch axles that were on this probably, I don't know, 1930s three-piece device that I've pulled together underneath this disc frame. But we found it's it's a cheap piece of equipment. I've only got a few bolts and grease into it, and it's really held together nicely. And I can't say enough for rolling a field after small grain. And when we're going to hay these fields for 7 or 8 consecutive years, those bumps really get to you after a while. And even though this is just smoothing out the little ridges in the field, those little ridges, once they're full of sod, become bouncy. And this does a great job in taking those little bounces out of the field. Well, I had hoped this seed bed would have dried out more yesterday when I planted it, but this western edge is still very wet. I'm making tracks, and the packer doesn't even cover over the tracks I'm making, so it's going to be a rough spot. I'm going to need to come back and do some work on. And there's a little strip I couldn't even plant. I couldn't get in there because the cedar was plugging up in the clay. So I may have to wait and come back in 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how much dry weather we get. Well, there, the oats are in the ground, and now we need some rain. It's getting dry again, and there's really no rain in the forecast, but we're hoping for a little shot of rain to give these oats a boost. Behind me, what you're looking at is the winter rye that we planted last fall, and boy, has it exploded. You can see the regular hayfield is pretty brown back there, but the rye is green, and the deer are out here every night. So it looks like we're going to have quite an explosion of rye combining by well, by mid to late summer, we'll be turning this rye into grain. Thanks for watching. Up next, we've got a lot of pasture work to do. We have to get the cows out on pasture once we've got all the calves on the ground. That requires a lot of fence work, so we'll be back with that shortly. We'll see you then.